The Great Allegheny Passage stretches for 150 miles from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania to Cumberland, Maryland. Carpools and travel plans found everyone in Cumberland on time for our shuttle service. It is easy to park in Cumberland for the long weekend, but it is a good idea to call the town office and let them know ahead of time. This year's trip consisted of a travel day to Pittsburgh on a Thursday and setting out on the trail Friday morning. Our shuttle carried 11 people, bikes, and all our gear to Pittsburgh in just a couple of hours and dropped us right at the door of the Holiday Inn Express on 10th Street in Southside. It is a bucket list trail for adventure cyclists around the world. I'm lucky enough to have this trail network basically in my backyard, and I'm even luckier to have a group of adventure cyclists in my bike club that enjoy bike camping. Put together a spring bike camping trip each year, alternating between the Canal Towpath and Gap. This is going to be our second year on the Gap, and lucky for us too, as the spring rains in the mid-Atlantic really did quite a bit of damage to the Canal Towpath. Our plan was to travel from Pittsburgh to Cedar Creek Trekker Campground on day 1, then on to Ohiopyle State Park on day 2, with our last camping night in Rockwood at Husky Haven on day 3. Day 4 would see us cross the Continental Divide and glide downhill from there into Cumberland. There are many ways to travel along the Gap by bike. Bike camping is just one option. This trail travels through many small towns that cater to the traveling cyclists. It is pretty easy to credit card camp the whole way. Food and restaurants are plentiful, and with proper planning, you would only need to carry a few changes of clothes and maybe some rain gear. You will find several hiker-biker campsites along the trail. Dravo Campground is at mile marker 122. Cedar Creek Trekker Campground is at mile marker 110. Round Bottom Campground is at mile marker 99 and has room for more than 100 tents. That's a huge camping area. The Connellsville Campground is found at mile marker 89. It's very close to the town.
No,
I'm a villager!
Richard's not pointing at himself. Yeah. He's pointing at Nick.
I don't know. I think Richard's a little suspicious. I'm
switching to vote.
Okay.
Oh, now it's Richard. Now it's Richard. Now it's Richard. Richard, you're killed.
Do we flip the card?
Oh!
I took it for the werewolf.
Yeah.
Day 2 for us found us headed to Ohiopyle State Park. I can honestly say I would not recommend this location for cyclists. It is a solid half-mile rock trail with over 350 feet of elevation gain up to the state park. If you are unfortunate enough like us on this trip to have rain set in, and you're isolated at the top of the hill with few services besides bathrooms and water, and all the action is down in Ohiopyle proper. Don't get me wrong, Ohiopyle is a great little town with plenty of restaurants and shops and has a park that runs alongside the falls. You definitely want to stop and spend some time there. But the state park for camping may not be the best bet. In Confluence, the Gap stops following the Youghiogheny River and picks up the Castleman. The surface of the Gap is well groomed, hard-packed gravel, and it holds up to whatever Mother Nature can throw at it. Day 3 had us headed to Husky Haven Campground in Rockwood. For those of you unfamiliar, the campground is on one side of the Castleman River and the office and bathrooms on the other. It's really no big deal, and the campground is incredibly well maintained and pleasant. Don't forget your earplugs. The train runs all night, and blows the horn passing through town each time it comes through. You'll swear it is about to enter your tent. Day 4 is a steady climb for the first half from Rockwood up to the Eastern Continental Divide. Then the rest of the trip, all 20 some odd miles, is basically downhill from there. You'll pass through the Savage Tunnel, so make sure to bring a light for this piece of the trail, plus a couple of smaller tunnels before you scream into Cumberland and your trip is done. Hey, thanks for riding along with us on this trip along the Great Allegheny Passage. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you haven't had a chance to do so yet, we'd love for you to subscribe to the channel. Love for you to give the video a like. And while you're at it, follow the link and check us out on Patreon. We'd love to have you supporting the channel. It helps keep great videos like this coming. Get out there, folks, and ride your own adventure. Go for it. Everybody